This is the Pro1, the reissue from Behringer, and tonight we're asking, will it drone? Spoiler alert. Okay, we got the Pro1 set up here. So the Pro1 is so easy to get to drone. It's ridiculous. There's a switch here that says mode, and there's poly mono, retrig normal, repeat stroke external normal. Not sure what that one does. I can't really work it out. But then this one here says off drone. It's that simple. So switch it on. Hey. Switch it off. So I can still play it. Now what I think's happening, it's almost keeping the last note that you triggered. It's kind of keeping that in the buffer. I don't know what I'm talking about. But basically the last note you trigger on the key, in this case the keyboard, it'll remember that note and just start droning away. So that's a low E. But if it was a high A, off we go. And obviously, while it's droning away, actually let's trigger a more reasonable note. While it's droning away, we can control the various parameters of the synth. So mixer, just have oscillator B going, just have oscillator A going. Mixing B, mixing some other shapes. I'm trying to craziness. So the Pro1, it's that simple. The really cool thing about having this drone switch is when it applies to the noise stroke processing the external signal, because what I can do is I can just flip the drone button up, and then boom, dial in some noise, and we've got instant noise. You can even try and process with the try and process that with the LFO for some reason, if we want to do that. But what's also cool with that, let's just turn these all the way down, is we can take an external audio source, and in this case I'm going to use my trusty FM AM radio. So plug that into the external from the headphone out, and we can do some crazy radio processing, obviously utilising the filter on the Pro1 and also the modulation section. So that's what this sounds like. So click on drone, mix in the external signal, switch the radio on. So now I've got the modulation section, or basically everything is set to wheel, so that's receiving mod wheel MIDI in. and it's a pretty funky source, so bit of AM radio. And obviously, if I'm fed up of that, I can just switch the drone off and kill it. Now, obviously, I could probably trigger the envelope again, so that would work. So I could, just tune the radio randomly, and then essentially play the radio. It's a bit hot. Or, for simplicity, drone switch. Very cool. Another cool thing that we can do with this drone feature is I've plugged in my Volca sample into the external in. So let's have that dialed up. So that's chugging away as we speak. So click on the drone. Now, I've got my oscillators A and B up, so let's just get rid of them. So now, obviously, we don't need to worry about triggering the envelope because it's in drone mode, so we can just process our drum machine with the Pro1 filter. LFO. Bit of resonance on the filter. Interesting stuff. Well, we get a bit of a singy filter there. Now it'd be interesting to sort of sync this all up in terms of a sort of tempo that's going on. So do some interesting clocking. So I guess I could do something like that. Okay, so we're into really I wonder territory here. So let's take a sync out to gate stroke clock. And I don't know whether we can clock the LFO. Possibly yes, but I don't know how I'm dividing up the clock coming in on the frequency of the LFO. drum machine with a duet with R2D2. Can you have R2 on its own? Right, that's cool. So, and then just knock the drone off. In fact, and we could probably even play along to that, right? Yeah, cool. So there we go. So let's wrap the video up here. So tonight we were looking at the Pro1. Does it drone? Absolutely yes. In fact, it's kind of almost designed to be a little drone machine, and very nice it is too. Very interesting for processing, a bit of weirdness from the radio. Although I have to say the Neutron is really excels when it comes to sort of making weird ass sounds with an FM radio. I have a video on that. But I do like the Pro1. I think it's a really playable instrument, and it's duophonic. It's duophonic, right? So the note 1 you hit on the keyboard will play oscillator 1, and then the second note will play oscillator B. A and B, not 1 and 2. Doesn't matter, 1 and 2, A and B. So it's duophonic, although they're both going to the same filter. But obviously that's like 100% more notes than a monosynth. So if you wash that with sufficient amounts of delay and reverb, has a mono mode as well. Has mono poly. But if you have both of the oscillators on the go. Yeah, it's just, really nice playable synth, kind of zingy, tingly, zesty kind of sounding synthesizer. Although I think that probably says more to the source material, the original Dave Smith instruments, rather than, Behringer creating something interesting. Although, I mean, they've recreated something interesting. So there we go. All right. Cheers, folks. See ya. Bye.